Imagine, just for a second, that right now, as you sit in your room, someone or something is standing directly behind you. You take a breath, and inside your lungs, microscopic organisms are moving. Organisms that aren't written in any biology textbook on Earth. We stare at the night sky, spending billions of dollars looking for alien life on Mars or distant galaxies. But tonight, on Dark Facts, we are uncovering a terrifying truth that will make your own home feel completely alien. Top scientists are now quietly discussing a theory that shatters our entire reality. It's called the Shadow Biosphere. This is the concept that right here on Earth, completely parallel to our own world, a hidden tree of life exists. They aren't ghosts or interdimensional spirits. They are physical, living organisms, but they are made of completely different biological building blocks. They float in our air, crawl in our soil, and might be on your hands right now. Yet, modern science has never captured a single one of their cells in a laboratory. Why? Because our entire scientific method was designed only to find life like us. If a completely different form of life is staring you right in the face, how do you even look for it? To truly grasp how terrifying this is, we have to look at the massive, arrogance-driven blind spot in modern science. Every single living thing we know, from a microscopic bacteria floating in a puddle to a blue whale diving in the deep ocean, shares the exact same biochemistry. We are all built from 6 fundamental elements: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and sulfur. Every piece of life on Earth uses the same double helix DNA structure. Because of this, every laboratory test, every microscope, and every rover sent to other planets is strictly programmed to look for only these 6 elements. We are effectively looking for our own reflection in the dark. But here is the darkest fact in scientific history. When researchers send testing kits to the deepest mines, toxic volcanic vents, or miles beneath the Antarctic ice, they often hit a bizarre glitch. The chemical tests report absolute zero, stating that no life exists. Yet thermal cameras and high-tech energy meters show something impossible. A biological process is actively happening down there. Something is breathing, consuming energy, and replicating. But the moment it's brought into a traditional lab, it completely vanishes from our instruments. It registers as nothing. They aren't made of carbon or traditional DNA. They are what astrobiologists call weird life. They are the true, undetected majority of this planet, and we are completely blind to them. Let's look at a concrete, undeniable piece of evidence that sent shockwaves through the halls of NASA. In California, there is a desolate, eerie place called Mono Lake. The water in this lake is extremely alkaline, heavy, and packed with arsenic, a deadly poison that instantly destroys the cells and dissolves the DNA of any normal living creature on this planet. Nothing should survive there. It is a liquid graveyard. But when a NASA astrobiologist sampled the toxic mud from the bottom of this lake, the scientific community was left in absolute horror. They discovered a unique microbe that didn't just survive the arsenic. It used the poison to build its very body. Its DNA completely replaced traditional phosphorus with toxic arsenic. Think about the massive implications of this discovery. The exact poison that destroys our life is the very fuel that keeps another world alive. This proves that when life started on Earth billions of years ago, it didn't just happen once. Nature's laboratory created at least 2 completely different trees of life. One branch evolved into plants, animals, and eventually humans. The other branch took a completely different chemical path and grew up in the shadows. They are still here today, surrounding us as an invisible, silent empire. The most chilling and mathematically sound part of the Shadow Biosphere is what scientists call mirror life. Biologists know that all organic molecules have a specific geometric orientation. They are either left-handed or right-handed, much like human hands. They look completely identical, but they cannot perfectly overlap. For some unknown, deeply mysterious reason, every single living organism on Earth exclusively uses left-handed amino acids and right-handed sugars. Our bodies, our digestive systems, and our immune systems only understand this specific biological orientation. But mathematically, there's absolutely no reason why nature couldn't create a world using right-handed molecules. This is the mirror world. If a mirror image bacteria or virus enters your room right now, your body wouldn't even register its presence. Your immune system would be completely powerless to fight it, because your cells literally cannot read its biological language. It wouldn't trigger your white blood cells, it wouldn't match your receptors. It would pass right through you like a ghost, existing in a completely different biological dimension while occupying the exact same physical space you are standing in. Renowned cosmologist Paul Davies famously stated that we are living on top of a massive, dark matter of biology. Just like 95% of the universe is made of dark matter and dark energy that we cannot see, the majority of life on Earth might actually belong to this shadow biosphere. To this day, scientists have only been able to grow, isolate, and study less than 1% of the bacteria on Earth in laboratories. The remaining 99% are officially classified by science as unculturable. They instantly die or become invisible in our labs. Why? Because we keep feeding them our food. We give them our oxygen, our water, and our carbon. But they might be feeding on things completely alien to us, like the raw, deadly radiation leaking from the Earth's core, or heavy toxic metals buried deep beneath the tectonic plates. Every single day we wash our hands, use industrial antiseptics, and clean our floors with alcohol. We think we are sanitizing our world, but in reality, you are only killing the 1% of life that you understand. The other 99% is completely untouched, mocking the chemical barriers we build, thriving right on top of the very surfaces we touch every single day. Think about the sheer scale of the deep Earth, miles beneath our feet, where the heat is intense enough to melt plastic, and the pressure is completely crushing. There are vast networks of rock fractures. For decades, miners and geologists have reported finding strange, weeping slime on the walls of deep gold mines in South Africa, thousands of meters below the surface. When analyzed, these slimes contain genetic material that defies classification. They don't fit into the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, or the known bacterial kingdoms. They exist in complete isolation, totally cut off from the sun, for billions of years. They do not need light. They do not need plants. They do not need us. They are a self-sustaining web of life that has been running in the dark since the birth of our planet. If tomorrow a catastrophic asteroid wiped out the surface of the Earth, destroying every tree, every animal, and every human being, our biosphere would die. But the shadow biosphere wouldn't even notice. Their world would keep turning in the deep dark, completely unaffected by the apocalypse above. This forces us to reevaluate our entire search for life in the universe. We send probes to Mars looking for water, and we look at the icy moons of Jupiter like Europa, hoping to find oceans like ours. But the shadow biosphere proves that life is much more resilient, much more terrifying, and much more versatile than our narrow definitions allow. If life can form twice on the same planet using two completely different chemical blueprints, then life is not a rare, fragile accident. It is a cosmic inevitability. And it means that the universe is likely crawling with life forms that we wouldn't even recognize if they were staring directly into our eyes. The shadow biosphere makes one thing hauntingly clear. Humans do not own this planet. We are simply a loud, visible minority, living right next to a massive, silent kingdom that we cannot comprehend. We are guests in a house built by things we cannot see. The aliens we are looking for in outer space might never arrive in silver spaceships, because they don't need to. They are already here. They are in the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the soil we walk on. They didn't come from another planet. They are Earth's original, hidden reality. We are just too blind to see past our own biology. The next time you sit alone in a completely quiet room, and you suddenly feel a strange chill, or the air feels unexpectedly heavy, don't just brush it off. Ask yourself one final terrifying question. Are you really alone in that room? Or is something from the shadow biosphere standing right next to you, breathing a completely different reality into the dark?